Hi guys, this is Amalia, and today I'm gonna have a little story for you guys. But specifically today, we're gonna be focusing on studying. So, how did I study during my first year of middle school here? So, I finished sixth grade in Ukraine, and then for seventh grade, I came here right in the heart of middle school. But I did go into a small town, so I went to Oregon school in the beginning, and it's an indoor school that started at like 6:45 because my school bus, like the yellow bus, was like at 5:35. No joke, I had to be there by that time, but it would get out at like 1 or 2, so that was nice. But it's crazy because the first month I was there, I was only there for like a couple of months, like from the beginning until like November. On like it's not that long, like less than a semester, right? Studying was the only thing I had to like focus, like wrap my head around. Everything was so exciting when I came here. But at the same time, I remember studying such simple things, but I was spending so much time simply understanding the language. So, how would I do it? I would have my homework, right? I would just translate it, then understand it, then read it, then do it in Russian or like do it in my language in Russian. I know Russian and Ukrainian, by the way, but I did it in Russian because I'm used to kind of like speaking more and writing more in that language specifically. And then I would translate to English, and then I would write in English. And that was actually insane. That's how I did it with the essays. The videos were a pain because I had to turn on the subtitles and literally frame by frame, I had to take a picture of the subtitles, literally translate it, and it was so time consuming. But I'm so glad I had those like couple of months because afterwards I got here in the state of California, and I went to the middle school in the area which I still live in today, and it was just crazy. I'm so glad I kind of got that training from the Oregon school because at my new middle school, it was so much faster. Like everything was so paced. I don't know if I knew the language more, but also the school was really open and they didn't have a cafeteria in Connecticut, and you could kind of sit anywhere, which kind of threw me off guard. But I did have my friends, but at the same time, it was it was a crazy experience because it was definitely way more chaotic. Because in Oregon, you literally just you go, you spend your time, you go to cafeteria for like 20 minutes, you just eat, and I don't know, I was just so chill about like everything back then. So I would just eat, like do my homework after school. But in the Californian school, in the California middle school, it was just like I just come here, I just do everything at lunch. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many things happening at lunch. And after school, the weather is really nice, and you kind of like want to hang out because the downtown is like literally next to your middle school. But in Oregon, like everyone was farming. That's why once that school bus would take you home, nothing. Like unless you knew your friend's parents, and you guys plan to hang out, literally the closest downtown would be like 30 minutes away. No joke. So that was a fun experience, but I'm really glad I actually finished seventh grade in Californian school, then eighth grade, then I went to the same area for high school, and yeah, that was my experience. It was really interesting, really, because it took like, especially like math, right? There's different levels of division. Plus, in seventh grade, they made us take in my Californian school. They made us take this test where like placement for math, and I don't know why they probably explained it, but I was like literally just like daydreaming. I didn't understand it was a test for like math placement, right? I completely failed the test. I did okay in the class. I just was tired that day, whatever was going on with me. But I failed the test, and in eighth grade, I actually get into math support, which is crazy because in Ukraine we don't have math levels. All math is just advanced. Like you don't get to choose. You just like if you're bad at math, you're just gonna like fail the class basically, right? But it was kind of crazy because I literally learned all of that 2 years ago. Like, so for example, in eighth grade, we kind of already covered the topics bit by bit in sixth grade in Ukraine. And it was fascinating to me that it was in math support. But I literally, like, if I could, it wasn't my biggest like priority because I was like focusing on the English essays, which I love English, by the way, and like history and stuff. But it wasn't my priority. But if it was, I would so still be like in the same math class probably, but I literally go into math support. And it's crazy. I got out of first semester because it was like me and six other students, and it was just something. But let me tell you, it was something. But Yeah, that's how I got into math support. Right now I'm in like regular math, thank goodness. But I sometimes I really struggle to keep up. I guess I forgot my roots, how I can actually do really good at math. But I wasn't good at math back then, so even in Ukraine. So maybe that's for good. I okay. Also the school system. Oh my god, I absolutely love the electives thing because back in Ukraine, no electives now. You just take. It's also not in 7 classes. It's like 12 classes or like even more. I don't remember. Like I'm gonna say 12. So I don't like say like it's like 15. Maybe it's actually 15. But you don't get to choose any of them, and you basically have to master all of them in order to keep your grades up. But here, you're just like chilling. You just have to take like 5 classes that are like basic, just for the credits, and then you choose 2 or 3 electives, which is amazing. Like 7th grade, I was so fascinated by it. When I was so fascinated. Then when I got to go to Oregon school, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you can choose your electives." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And I chose creative writing, and it was like the hugest like thing ever. I loved it so much back then. I don't know if I would still take this class, but I missed it so much when I came to this middle school in this state, and they didn't have creative writing, and I missed it ever since. But right now, it's kind of chilling. But I really appreciate the fact that like electives is really a thing here, and which is insane. And my adaptation was really helpful because of my school providing me. Actually, in Oregon school, I was placed in an ELD class, but I don't remember anyone but this other girl in my class. Maybe there were some other students, but I remember solely this girl because we did become friends. So there was one person in that class. Then second middle school, it's so basically there was an ELD class. There was way more people. There was one girl from Russia, which we could actually communicate in our language, and our teacher would get mad. Then in 8th grade, a guy from Ukraine joined, and it was just like such a gang. But what happened when I first came into the middle school here, I basically in like I swear 4 out of 7 of my classes, I was placed next to a Russian speaking student, which meant they kind of spoke Russian at home. They could like help me like with everything. I think it was actually 3, but like three to 4 classes. And it was actually so helpful because I felt such a support from that. And also I felt a really strong community sense in the LED class because I had the Russian and Ukrainian student. We actually could like communicate, and it was such a good moral support. Then, especially in that middle school, there were so many like Russian speakers. I kept like bumping into others, kept like becoming friends with them, and I'm really like I'm so grateful for that they had that, and that definitely made my adaptation pretty not easy, but like easier, I would say. Oh yeah, the presentations they were horrifying. Oh my god, I had to memorize words. Plus, I was good at with presentations, but like it was just weird. It was just really weird. I just had to like say something really loudly and confidently, but I wasn't able to like my pronunciation and everything. And oh my gosh, me speaking the first like year, I that's oh my gosh, it was so funny because I like talk really fast, and I tried to do the same thing I'm doing right now. But imagine me just starting to learn English, right? It's a commonly asked question for me. Did I learn English here? No, I had an English class back in Ukraine, and I knew the basics. I mostly learned like how to speak it and like other kind of nuances in here, but me just like it was insane. Like I also have to be loud. Oh yeah, me talking, it was like insane. And I like tried speaking so fast, but I literally couldn't. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, future me, like literally any problem you have doesn't matter because like you have to reference back to me because remember when I just couldn't speak. Like simply I couldn't speak my mind, I couldn't share my thoughts as clearly as I wanted to, and that was like that every day until I actually learned how to do it. That's how I was like my future me, like if you're complaining, if you make excuses like to not do something, literally remember me because you couldn't like speak, like you were unable to do that. And yeah, that's why I do appreciate the ability I have right now. So yeah, that's my story time. Oh my gosh, so fun. Yeah, little talking video. Yeah, that was really fun. But I'll see you guys in next videos. This is not just one format, there will be many other formats, but click the subscribe button and also comment maybe stories you know, your personal ones or your friends' ones. Let me know if you want to see like other formats, like ideas, and just everything you think. Yeah, I really want to communicate with you guys specifically. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye!